Hey, good morning. Today, I I want to talk to you about cognitive decline. So the other day, I was listening to a webinar, and Jay Dollywall was talking about the different products, and he talked about the Flow, and he said he really believed anyone 50 and older for sure should be wearing the Flow patch because he really believed that it would help our cognitive function from declining, stabilize it, keep it where it is. And that's pretty important because so many of us are experiencing people who have cognitive decline, and then they get to the point in life where they're not able to function, and it's no fun. Who wants to live out their end of days not remembering who their loved ones are? um, it's kind of sad. So I thought, well, maybe I should do that. And so I looked into it more, and I thought I would share some of this information, what I learned, with you guys. And so I'm going to be looking at my notes because I don't have all this memorized in my head. But our brain and the central nervous system, controls every physical, biological, chemical, emotional, and physiological function in our body. Okay, so if the brain is controlling all aspects of our health, well, then that's why we believe a healthy body needs a healthy brain in order for that, to take place. So if you picture a triangle, and you have the central nervous system, CNS, at the very apex of that triangle, and then underneath that you have biochemistry, you have biology, and then at the base you have biophysics. Well, the apex, the central nervous system, impacts or has something to do with each one of those other areas making up that pyramid. So when we have a certain area of our body, like maybe the biology is not functioning, then it might be that the neurology, the code, the communication line is disrupted somehow. It's mucked up, and it's stuck. So why is that? Well, um, we can take vitamins, minerals. We can eat the right foods, and that's important. But if that's still not helping, well, maybe it is the neural networks that are messed up, or you have in the biophysics area of your body, you see things that aren't right, and you're doing physical therapy. You're doing everything to get all that functioning properly, and it's still not doing it. Okay, maybe it is the neural code is not being properly read because the communication line is gunked up, or it has fuzz, like in a radio, AM radio, you have that static, and you're not quite hearing the signal very clearly. Um, so anyway, that's why I say to all my customers and potential customers, um, if you do not believe a healthy body needs a healthy brain, then you're not going to follow through with what we have to offer. So, you know, why? I mean, you don't believe it works, so why even go there? So, but if you really believe that a healthy body needs a healthy brain, then you're going to do whatever it takes to get a healthy brain. And that might be eating the right foods. That might be keeping the drugs, chemicals, alcohol, out of your system. It might mean, getting more fresh air. And it might be um, hacking into the neural code to get it jump started again. And without drugs, without chemicals, because all we know is when we use chemicals to deal with neurological issues, those chemicals either mask or block or alter, but they don't get to the root cause. And so we want to, everything we want to do, we want to work with the body. So these patches, and this is the new patch. You see this? It's kind of a pastel, pinkish purple color. I don't know if you can see that, and if it's going to, yeah, so it's kind of a purplish design. So it has this code on it, and there's little markings. I don't know how clearly this shows up, but it'll have like divots in there, little bumps in there. And what Jay Dollywall has managed to do is, hack into that neurological code. And there's a code, you can kind of say it's like a QR code. So he's hacked into that for each one of our those neurological functions. So the code on the patch unlocks the blockage, whatever's blockage, and it restores that communication network in the nervous system. So we're going to talk about ADHD and cognitive decline. That is definitely with that neural system that the Flow patch deals with. So the super patches work on the software of the brain. So they're not healing any hardware of the brain, but it's working on the software of the brain. The Flow patch is like way better than the e-sleeve. So some of my customers have been had great results using the eSmarter sleeve or the e-sleeve, helping with their cognitive function, helping with their stress and anxiety. And it was pretty big. It covered this whole area of the arm. And now Jay Dollywall has figured out that code and how do you make it smaller? How do you fit it onto a 2x2 patch? And that's what he's done. So he's separated out, and this is going to deal with the signals. It sends signals to all 5 cognitive areas of the brain. So your default area of the brain, the executive function, the attention network, the memory network, the information flow network. So basically every major cognitive network is what the Flow patch helps with. So I've started to wear it, and I found that, of course, you want to move the patch around because, the skin needs to breathe. So every day when I put a new patch on, I'll figure out another place to put it. So for me, I've been able to put it on the rib cage, right underneath my neck. I don't know if you can see, right about here. I'll put the patch, and then sometimes I'll, put it on the arm here, or, I'll put it here. But the key is you want to put it somewhere where you're not moving around to where you can sweat it off or wiggle it off or, whatever. So if you're, you don't want, I learned this by experience, you don't want to put it where you're going to flex your muscles because that's going to stretch out the skin, and then eventually that'll just wiggle loose, So, so that's the, the patch. So when we use this super patch, we're stabilizing those neural networks associated with ADHD, ADD, and cognitive decline. So we're going to stabilize them so they're not wonky. So we really want to do whatever it takes to live a productive life to the very end. It's not good when we have cognitive decline and we're not able to communicate, remember from moment to moment. And it's hard even on our loved ones, our caregivers, when they come and, tell you things and you don't remember who they are. You don't remember, what you even ate for breakfast. Don't you remember who your grandkids are? And so I want to help people. I want to make sure that, give you whatever advantage you have so that you can maintain a, a healthy, a healthy brain. So having a sharp mind, a stable cognitive function is critical for a vibrant life. So along with the Flow patch, and I've talked about this before, I wear the Defend patch, right? So I did a video on the Neurovax patch. Well, this Defend patch has replaced the Neurovax patch, but it does address the proper functioning of the immune system, the neural networks of the immune system. And then you have the Liberty patch. Now, the Liberty patch um, addresses all the proper functioning of the central nervous system. So that's like the foundation, the foundational patch. So all my customers, I start off with the Liberty patch and then add, after you wear the Liberty patch for a few days, then go and add the Flow patch and then add the Defend patch. So the Liberty is going to get your central nervous system into homeostasis, getting it back to where it's going to be. You're going to wear that for a few days, and then you're going to keep wearing it, and then you're going to, add the Flow patch. Get your cognitive function going, and then in short order, add the Defend. The Defend is going to make sure whatever progress, improvements that you've made, it's going to stabilize it so you don't end up going backwards. You don't lose the progress that you've made. So those are some tips that I wanted to leave my customers with today. And by all means, if you watch this video and you want to share it with someone you know, love, and care about, by all means, do that. And I'll be glad to help them answer any questions that they may have. And if you want to be on the live chat, um, get with me, give me a text message, private message, and I'll make sure that you get the link so that you can join in on the conversation. So I will talk to you next week. And until then, you have a great day.